Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I just had my eyes open about how liberal woke ideology works. Let me bring it to you.
I want there to be revelation today. I want you to see that the biggest battle we are fighting is not in the ballot box, it is in the heavenly realms. In 1980, the Supreme Court ruled that the 10 Commandments could not be displayed or enforced in our public schools or our government buildings.
To a federal judge in Little Rock, whether a 10 Commandments monument stays at the state capitol.
Gone from the state capitol. Crews came out around 10:30 last night to remove it following the Supreme Court's ruling over the summer.
God, and I want you to see this, in the demonic trinity is the god Ashtoreth. She is the god of sexual immorality and pornography. Her mission is to seduce and corrupt. Her tactic is unbridled sexual immorality. She took what God called sacred and she twisted it and corrupted it within the land. The gods have returned. They have returned. There's an even darker side to Ashtoreth that she would not want anybody to know, yet it's so easily accessible because of the internet. You can look all this stuff up yourself. On Ashtoreth's ancient tablets, it is written, "I am a woman, I am a man." And the songs that her priest would sing declared that she had the power to turn men into women and women into men. See, my friends, what we are seeing right now, the confusion, the blurring of the lines, the lack of understanding of our natural makeup and God-given identity, this is not a cultural issue. This is not a cultural misunderstanding. This is a spiritual invasion that is coming upon our nation, coming upon our sons and daughters, coming upon our friends and neighbors. This is not a normal thing that people would begin to disassociate with their God-given identity and put on a deception that would cause them to walk away from that which God created them to be. This is a spiritual issue. And listen, the world would love to convince you that it's new and that we're enlightened and awakened. This is not new. This has happened for thousands and thousands of years. As old gods blind a new generation, we repeat a cycle once again. The annals of history tell us this has happened before. Matter of fact, let me tell you what her ancient texts read. Her ancient texts read that she grinds away the masculinity of men. And her priests were men that dressed in drag. And many times they modified themselves physically to be eunuchs and become the other gender. And did you know that in her temples, they would come out and celebrate in the culture where she had dominion? There would be one whole month set aside where she worshiped, or where they worshiped her, and she would declare things over the places she had influence. Her festivals were filled with colorful parades and all kinds of debauchery. By the way, all the way back to ancient Babylon, we see Ashtoreth worshipped with a single symbol, and that is the symbol of the rainbow, the original sign of God's covenant before the time of Babylon. And they said an entire month where they would parade through the streets with all kinds of debauchery. And even thousands of years ago, can you guess what month they worshiped Ashtoreth? June. The month of June was set aside to worship Ashtoreth in all of the ways that she was worshiped, with sexual immorality, with drag, and with grinding down the masculinity of men. They worshiped her with open sexuality. Listen, we might not worship Ashtoreth in temples today, but trust me, Ashtoreth has many temples online. She has many temples on your cell phone. She is still begging a generation to swipe and enter in to the influence of her and her witchcraft on this generation. There are websites and apps. There is her influence that marks a generation. Jesus said it best. When the spirits go out and they find the house empty, they come back 7 times worth. No longer does Ashtoreth just want to possess her priests. Now she wants to possess our sons and daughters. Christ. Now she wants to manipulate a generation to leave their God-ordained identity and permanently and irrevocably change and mark themselves in a way they can never return by confusing and perverting a generation. But I say not on our watch.
As you can see, guys, that ideology has been around for a very, very long time. It was kicked out in America from, 30s on, made its return back in the 60s with the sexual revolution. As you can see, it got stronger after the 90s, and as we see in the 2000s and above, we have even invaded our government with this woke ideology. You have a presidential candidate saying, be more woke, just get woke. That is getting into our government. Guys, if we don't take a stand and stand up for American ways of life and vote these people, send them to the curb packing, we are going to end up, well, Ronald Reagan puts it best, just listen.
Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure. If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under.
Guys, have a blessed week. Thanks for watching. We love you. Peace out.